It is your time of the year. Hi, Scorpios, and welcome to your November 2019 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to bring you some messages relating to the energies that you are experiencing here in your season of November. Welcome. I hope that you're feeling well, and I really want to set a great intention for this reading. It looks like the sun might be coming out a little bit. I was hoping it would really come out and illuminate the whole background because this background is very beautiful. When the sun hits it, it gets all sparkly and pretty, which is nice for the aesthetic of the video. But I definitely wanted to do this reading during the new moon in Scorpio, and it is currently the new moon in Scorpio as I'm bringing it to you. So yeah, let's get some really, really great messages for Scorpio in the month of November 2019. So I have already pre-shuffled for you guys and done a lot of meditating on your energy, but I want to talk a little bit about the intuitive messages that I got as I was shuffling before we get straight into the tarot reading. So it's not that hard this month. I've got to be honest with you all. It's not that hard to do well. It's not that hard to be okay. It's not that hard to feel empowered. Yet there are struggles here within these topics of like power and, you know, doing well in life. Those are things that are on your mind and you're really thinking about them, but it doesn't have to be so hard here. What I basically saw was you are dealing with a bit of indecision, yes, especially as you're coming out of Libra time. You know, I saw the image of, you know, you have like the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other shoulder, and you're trying to take counsel and heed counsel and understand how to move forward with something. But as simple as it might sound, it's not about having a big, you know, sudden uptick or a big sudden flux of energy. If you could imagine like a graph, you know, like if you have like a graph of like a stock market or something, this isn't about a pulsation or about like jumping up and then coming back down. There's like a slow rise and a slow measured way of progressing, and you are, as you move into November, your season, at the highest point that you've been in a long time, of a slow build upwards. So I want to alert you guys to that. This is a high point. November of 2019 is a high point for you, and there's a lot beneath you. There's a long way to fall if you jump off too quickly, or if you get too volatile here, or if you disturb the current path. So that's definitely a keyword that I heard when I was shuffling, was disturbing the current path. So there are maybe sudden new decisions that you can make here. I do feel that you have to invest in yourself after the Mercury retrograde. As you guys know, we have Mercury retrograde in your sign, and that happens seldomly. Okay, so it's been a long time since you've had a Mercury retrograde in your sign. I did a video on the Mercury in Scorpio, which I'll link below for you guys to get more insight on, as well as in the top right-hand corner in the I section. Yeah, Mercury in Scorpio is teaching you so much this season. You are having a big logical expansion. You are having also sort of meticulous pruning of the thoughts and emotions that have come together to create discord in your life. And yet you are kind of operating in a mundane way. So there's a combination within Scorpio that is quite lethal in the perception of other people. So yeah, I know it's complicated, but yeah, we are making things simpler for ourselves this month. You know, if you have something in your life that's been so complicated, so difficult, giving you so many problems for a long time, you know, especially as we get towards the end of this month, nip that in the bud. There might be an expenditure, there might need to be something that you spend on yourself, there might be something that you need to acquire in this last part of Jupiter and Sagittarius, especially for those of you Scorpios who are on like the Scorpio-Sag cusp or have a lot of Sagittarius in your chart. As the month ends in November, this is what I'm hearing, as the month ends, you have to acquire something, or you have to give back to yourself. You have to gift yourself something that is needed. So I'm not talking about being frivolous or, you know, giving yourself some type of lavish luxury. Some of you could, if it doesn't, you know, threaten your well-being to do that. That's not bad, but yeah, you've got to maybe upgrade something or take something to the next level or have a very keen understanding of how things are moving forward after this, because what this big Scorpio stellium in your time of the year does for you throughout November is it alerts you to the changes that need to happen. It's like a message of change, you know, Mercury and Scorpio. And when it goes retrograde, you do kind of have to look back into the past and see how, okay, you know, I didn't change something when I needed to. I didn't see the message of change oncoming. And then you have the challenge of giving it to yourself now, especially after the Mercury retrograde, because, you know, we don't want to make huge gigantic leaps of change during a Mercury retrograde because that's chaos. But after it goes direct on November 20th, we want to be preparing ourselves to step into acquiring some sort of upper hand or change, okay? So that's a bit of a long rant. I'm going to go ahead and cut the cards for you guys, and we will begin to read into the tarot of your month in 2019. Happy birthday to you guys. And I will let you guys know that since it's your birthday, I'm going to put your extended reading up for free on my Patreon page, so that will be linked below and in the center of your screen. If it is something that's really helpful for you, though, it would be really, really wonderful if you might join my Patreon page, as it is my birthday as well. I am a Scorpio, so that'd be a wonderful birthday surprise to have you guys popping up over there. And also, if you're new here on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, comment below. Again, it would be a wonderful, wonderful birthday gift to see some new subscribers coming in. So thank you all so much for being here. But yeah, to get into Scorpio's energy for November 2019, super strong Scorpio injection of energy. I want to understand more about the archetypes coming up here for Scorpios. Okay, Scorpios, let's see some healing messages for you. In the first week of November, the Devil, okay, rooted down by the Fool. It makes sense. This is that sort of volatility that I'm speaking of. There's a lot on the line. That's sort of how I've been reading the Devil card. It has been coming up a lot this month for a lot of the other signs as well. Because a lot has shown itself as a potential. There are many ways of rising higher. There are many ways of attaching and acquiring to what is more authentic. And when those types of opportunities show themselves, that is when the Devil energy becomes possible, because there's something to shackle, there's something on the line, there's something to try to leech. So yeah, addictions, those have to maybe be conquered by this time. I'm hoping you guys were able to use Virgo and Libra time to overcome any addictive cycles or heal your body some more. Even if it's not perfect, I hope that there's been progress there, because you will have an upper hand in dealing with this. Basically, this is where the choice starts. Are we falling into our addictions, paying for our addictions, continuing and prolonging a cycle of addiction, or are we starting new somewhere? Are we investing what we have into a new calculated risk, into a better, more utopian type of life for ourselves? The worst case scenario is starting a new addiction here, starting a new addictive cycle. The best case scenario is leaving one behind and moving into a new feeling of being energized that is unparalleled. It can go either way, and you have the choice, you have the power, Scorpio, to decide during that time which way that goes. Because ultimately what you're wanting in the first week of November is some amount of higher freedom, some amount of liberation from feeling a bit enslaved to some cycle, okay? You feel really shackled up to me, and a really, really strong desire of freedom. And my goodness, is Scorpio really good at making a dramatic exit when that is the case. You are sort of breaking the chains, breaking the shackles here. So you're going to see that after you move further into the month of November, there's going to be a sense of being able to breathe easier and a sense of where the heck do I go from here? That does tend to happen when you have these types of energies coming together. It can sort of be shocking to exist without shackles once you break them, so you can sort of feel forlorn. So I will warn you for a feeling of forlorn in the month of November, but I think you're going to find that that's very temporary if you can just remind yourself of where you're going. Okay, let's look at the second week of November for you guys. Knight of Swords. Love. Okay, I love that. That's a really great thing to offset this, because that says to me that we're not just stagnating after we've been liberated. We are moving quickly towards our goals. Rooted down by Two of Cups. That's so beautiful, you guys. Look at how different it is. You know, we have the Devil. Yes, it's there. We can acknowledge that there is an addictive tendency or an emotional shackle that we are trying to break free from. But all of these things are here to support us in moving into a sense of more emotional connection and emotional freedom. So you start moving really quickly in the second week. You start really pursuing something, or really making a strategy, really making a game plan. And this is gold. Okay, Scorpio, this is gold. Whatever strategy or plan hits you in the second week, you need to be writing it down. You need to be like remembering what you think of here, because this is where you make some really great creative plans, or really great, even more than plans, like you see yourself for who you are. I interpret this Two of Cups more so than a new relationship. You're going to see a clear reflection of yourself. A clear reflection of where you are, and a clear reflection of your current potential. And that's empowering. I just saw 11/11 on the camera right when I said that, which is funny, because on November 11th, there's going to be a mercurial solar eclipse, which I might make a video about. That's sort of what I'm calling it, at least. You know, Mercury is going to go straight in front of the sun, and it's quite a rare configuration, so I just saw that right on the camera, like 11/11, Mercury solar eclipse, second week, that is, you know, the second week of the month as well, so whoa, I'm having like an inception moment in my brain. And also the Two of Cups, which is like an 11. Holy good, oh my god. You know, that's so funny. That's so funny. That's crazy. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, stay tuned. Hit the subscribe button to see that mercurial solar eclipse video that will be coming out. That's a life-changing transit. So I hope that you guys will stay tuned for that. But anyway, what does that do? That helps you see your potential. That helps you see and logically interpret what your current path is, and maybe even do a bit of surgery there. That's another thing I've been talking about for this month with the other signs, is a bit of energetic surgery, or working on your energy at a deep level. You know, maybe it's not for the Mercury retrograde, but it is something to be thinking of in the back of your head. You know, what needs to change? What is ill in my life? What is not going to work? It's food for thought. And of course, another potentiality for the second week is moving really quickly into a new relationship. I could see that for some of you. Especially if you're single, or just recently broken up. This kind of looks like a rebound to me. So that's a more mundane message, but that's possible. So I would not recommend it, because especially so close to this, you need to just be with your own devices to some degree, because it's easy to get like addicted to something or someone. So watch out for rebounds, watch out for coping through people. Watch out for using people by accident as well. This is something that Scorpio can unknowingly do. Sort of being a bit of a vampire, or using somebody without realizing it, because it's not about them, it's about your own coping process, and they can get too interested. Like, you are super alluring right now, you're super attractive, so people can maybe get too attached to you, so that can be messy in the future. So yeah, watch out for jumping headlong headfirst into relationships right now. Week number 3 of November, Scorpio. 6 of Pentacles. Rooted down by 8 of Wands. Okay, that's an interesting combination of energies. It's a bit of a beguiling combination as well, but it is Scorpio, that's for sure. So having a sense of rigid structural indebtedness in your life, as well as a big windfall and sense of like winning the lottery. Some of you could have good luck with lottery, or just have an amount of good luck here that helps you deal with some kind of feeling of indebtedness that you've had. So this could be maybe even a gift from Jupiter and Sagittarius. You know, you see that it's easier to acquire something. That's the word that keeps coming up for you this month, is acquire. I will say, I keep coming back to that. So yeah, maybe you can, you know, get a new house during this time. You know, acquire what you've needed to do a creative project. Acquire something that really optimizes your workload. That is possible. Watch out for indebting yourself too heavily, though, I will say that. However, I never recommend debt, but some of you could do it really well during this time. I will say that. You know, if maybe you can find, you know, the best deal on a house or something, and, you know, not many people can buy a house without going into debt. So maybe in that way it could be recommended, but of course, certainly not a time to go on a spending spree with the credit cards, of course. Okay, I want to get the 4th week here to get more perspective on what the 3rd week is bringing up. Ace of Wands, I love that. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Rooted down by 9 of Wands. Okay. So yeah, we are rehoning our creativity in some way. We are coming the last mile in an old creative cycle, and we are sort of injected with the new stimulus, the new creative, inspiring motivation here. So you are going to ignite something. Something will ignite in your life. We move into Sagittarius time, again, especially for those of you with Sag in your chart or you Scorpio Sag cusp people. Huge ignition of creativity. Huge ignition of, you know, even some type of reimagining of what you've been doing or what you've done before into something that is so connected and so inspiring. You've got to follow through with it. It's going to take a bit of hard work. It's going to take a bit of getting up early every morning, going to bed late. So yes, this is why for nearly all of 2019, Scorpios have been health focused, because this is a time, especially towards the end of 2019 and very beginning of 2020, where things have to move quickly and things have to be getting done, and we don't just want to sort of be sitting idly too much. Because in 2020, we'll need to, again, there will need to be some idle time in 2020 to reflect on how to secure things better. But during this time, we are having like the spark of life that births the new creative paradigm for ourselves, which I think is so beautiful for you. Because, oh yeah, the sun's finally coming out a little bit. Do you see how beautiful that is? I wanted it for the whole reading for the sun to just be like going like all over this because it sparkles really beautifully. But it has been rainy and gloomy and overcast here for the last week, but it is Scorpio season. What can we expect? Anyway, as I was saying, guys, the ignition of a new creative project, the ignition of the vision of who you want to be, of what you want to do. And just like last month's reading, guys, the sun is already coming in beautifully. It's lighting up the Ace of Wands. This is your power. This is your weapon that you're wielding. You're not really wielding the sword. I mean, you have that in the beginning. You're not really wielding the dollar or the sword or the emotional power. You are wielding creative power. Firepower, even, you know, honing in on your innate fire, because Scorpio is one of those kind of hybrid signs. It's like a hybrid water-fire sign. It's definitely a water sign, but it's traditionally ruled by Mars, which is a fiery planet. So there's a combination of those elements within Scorpio, and you are capitalizing as we move into Sag time with Jupiter and Sag on your firepower. So yeah, this is where we burn away anything that is holding us back. This is where we step into motivation and some degree of healthy ambition, and we find inspiration, and we say, okay, I'm not holding back anymore. I'm not running away from who I know that I'm meant to be. I'm not going to sit as an idle victim to my environment, but I am going to ignite into the driver's seat of my life, and I'm going to push forward, and I'm going to create and manifest what I know that I'm here to do. Just sit with that for a minute. Sit with what it might look like to not be a victim of the environment, to not be a victim of a poor health regimen or something, to have fixed some of those cracks, to have filled in some of those gaps. That's November in a nutshell for you guys, Scorpio. All right. If you guys would like to see the central theme for this month, what this is all culminating together as, what this is all revolving around, as well as your power cards, how you can work with this energy in a way that is more empowering and come through with more, you know, zest and capability, y'all can jump over to my Patreon page to check out the extended reading. That will be free for you guys as a birthday present. It will be publicly available. So I will link that below as well as in the center screen. But if it is something that's super helpful and you would like to see them in the future, I would be so grateful if you guys might sign up for a Patreon subscription or, you know, at least hit the subscribe button below on YouTube so you can get these readings every month. Your likes and comments mean the world to me. I love you guys so much. There's a lot of new stuff coming. I'm currently in this mode myself where I'm like visualizing, you know, new creative prospects and stuff. So it's very empowering, and I'm hoping to really bring you guys something magical and great, continuing to do so at least. All right, Scorpios, thank you so much for being here. Happy, happy birthday. I hope that this month gives you everything you've wanted it to be. I hope you get some great birthday gifts. I hope that you feel strong, because you are getting stronger and stronger every day. Let's jump over to Patreon now for these extended readings. I'll talk to y'all later. Much love. Bye.